this is LonelySif66. This is my response video to Next Gen Resident Evil's video, Top 11 Reasons Resident Evil 6 Sucks. And, I'd like to add another reason why it sucks. Well, 5 and 6 in general, the plot for Wesker. Like, so many others, I didn't like how he's portrayed in both games, so this is how the plot should have gone. Now, I've always thought that Wesker would try to be God, but he should have been more subtle with it, which would match the earlier games. So, in the beginning of the game, the beginning of RE5, it should have been the Lost in Nightmare segment, showing Wesker confronting Spencer. Of course, Spencer's surprised that Wesker's alive and is injected with the Ouroboros virus, which kills him instantly. Then he noticed Chris and Jill in the estate as well, and begins a self-destruct sequence, typically, while an endless hordes of BOWs attacking them, which he, of course, unleashed. And as the estate explodes, Chris and Jill are separated due to the impact. Chris wakes up only to see the estate collapse to the sea below. So that brings us to the events of RE5. However, Excella would be the main protagonist instead of Wesker up until the last chapter. Of course, Excella's in love with him, and Irving's there, but he would have more. His role hasn't changed, but he would have more screen time. And Excella would be kind of like the concept art for her before the final product, because that's more concept art's more classy than, you know. So, towards the end, Jill would still be Bird Lady, but it wouldn't be revealed to the last chapter as well, when she kills Excella under Wesker's orders after Excella's defeated by Chris and Sheva. Jill would fight Chris and Sheva as Bird Lady, but would be defeated, of course. Hold on. Okay, she'd be defeated, and then suddenly Wesker appears. It reveals to be Jill, just like Chris was about to go after Wesker. Jill suddenly goes into cardiac arrest, due to the effects of the P30, and it will force Chris to let Wesker go. Afterwards, Jill falls into a coma while Chris stays at her side, and this brings us to the events of RE6. Now, in RE6, during the time skip, Wesker perfects the Ouroboros virus with the help of a soon-to-be-named accomplice. Then he would create Neo Umbrella from those he injected with his own modified strand of Las Plagas. Because if you remember, Wesker did manage to get a hold of a sample of Las Plagas from Krauser's body, and and he'll command them to attack various parts of the globe to create a smoke screen so that Wesker would launch Ouroboros without detection. Now, not exactly the main protagonist, but probably the protagonist in the first chapter, probably be Leon and Sherry. Sherry would be a government agent, but she'd also be Wesker's accomplice, because I still have a problem with, you know what, Wesker had all those spies in the government, and it would be hard for him to get to her somehow. That was my problem. And, this is going to probably sound typical, but I guess, it would also be revealed that a year after the events of RE4, she and the Wesker would, hook up, you know? Yeah, in that sense. So, okay, so in the second chapter, Jill wakes up from her coma, but Chris is nowhere to be found because of the attacks. Chris is off in China, and he is teamed with his old Stars teammate, Barry Burton, to try to stop the outbreak. In the third chapter, Claire's still with Terra Save, but it comes under attack by Neo Umbrella, of course. Trying to escape, she meets up with former Stars member Rebecca Chambers, and I think her name is Yoko from the Outbreak series. Okay, in the fourth chapter, Billy Cohen from Zero teams up with the guy from Survivor. I think his name is Ark Thompson, and the team from Dead Aim. I forgot their names. And in the fifth chapter, the rest of the folks from the Outbreak series and Ashley, yes, Ashley, they try their best to help the civilians and reunite with each other while teaming up with Parker and the guys from Revelations. I forgot their names too. Sorry, I'm kind of sniffling right now. And in the sixth chapter, despite waking up from a coma, Jill decides to fight and goes to find Chris. However, Nikolai shows up, and we don't know what exactly happened to Nikolai after Raccoon City, after RE3. It kind of depends on the actions you take in that game. So anyway, he shows up wanting payback for the Raccoon City incident, but Hunk shows up and saves her. And the seventh chapter, there's a lot of chapters here. Carlos is assigned to protect Manuela, who's from Darkside Chronicles, by Leon, but he's ambushed by Neo Umbrella. Manuela is captured, and during this time, after this, Sherry meets Manuela and tries to convince her to join her and Wesker, but she refuses. However, Sherry injects her with Ouroboros, and Manuela's body accepts it. And so Leon finally catches up with them, and he will be forced to fight Manuela and Sherry. He defeats Manuela, but Sherry overpowers him, and Leon finally meets Wesker face to face, and Sherry kind of reveals to the fact that, you know, she and Wesker are lovers, and they kiss in front of him. Yeah, that's gonna be kind of weird. So Jill and Hunk finally find Chris and Barry, but Neo Umbrella show up, with Carlos being held by Nikolai, who's with Wesker. He captures them. Saying Chris, Rebecca, Yoko meet Billy and his teams, but Sherry contacts them and tricks them into coming to Washington, where they're captured as well. And now we bring in Sheva and Josh. They meet up with the Outbreak and Revelations guys and Ashley. I'm gonna make her heroic in this, just redeem her for RE4 to try to save the others. Along the way, they meet up with the Wolf Pack. That was the Delta team from Operation Raccoon City. I would put Spec Ops in there, but well, maybe they should be in there. I don't know. Well, anyway, he reveals to Wesker reveals to his captives his plan. He's going to infect the world with the Ouroboros virus so that only those worthy would survive, and that Neo Umbrella was just a smoke screen. Sheva's team finally tries to figure out how to completely destroy Las Plagas, which is commanded by Wesker. Afterwards, Neo Umbrella turn on him after being freed, after the Las Plagas has been completely destroyed and freed the captives. In the chaos, Jill is about to shoot Wesker, but Sherry takes a bullet straight through the heart. Sherry kisses Wesker as she dies in his arms. He's enraged that Jill had murdered her. He injects himself with a large amount of the Ouroboros virus. You know where this is going, kind of. So in the final chapter, Chris, Jill, Barry, and Rebecca fight Wesker for the final time while the others try to stop the Ouroboros virus from spreading. Wesker was about to deliver the final blow. However, Chris stabs him through the heart from behind and kills him. But then Chris becomes infected with Ouroboros and starts to accept his body. However, he wants to die human, so he tells Jill goodbye and shoots himself in the chest. And so Chris is honored as a hero, is buried, and he's honored as a hero. And during the memorial service, Leon is confronted by Ada, who gives her condolences and told her that this is only the beginning. Now, that would have been like the perfect starting point for RE7, and, you know, to bring in the new people that were in RE6, because you know, everybody's stories would be wrapped up at that point if they had done it that way. And so afterwards, he goes back to comfort Claire with Ada's words still heavy on his mind. And then the final scene of the game, Ada is met by Jessica from Revelations, who questions her why she was talking to Leon, and that she's on thin ice, but Ada ignores her. And afterwards, Jessica calls Raymond, again from Revelations, and tells him that Ada may be a problem in the future. So, to me, that's how the plot of Wesker and generally RE5 and 6 should have gone. So, let me think, well, if you agree with this or not, that's cool. But this has just been on my mind for some time. So, well, you guys have a good Thanksgiving weekend, even though it's next week. Take care.